Hello, my name's Stuart Clulow, and on behalf of Chorley Council and South Ribble Borough Council, I'd like to welcome you to Chorley Town Hall here in Lancashire. Along with Leyland Band, we're here to say a big thank you to our service personnel, reserves and cadet forces as we celebrate Armed Forces Day 2021. Thank you for joining us today as we come together to offer a salute and show support and appreciation to our armed forces. But before we celebrate, we would like to observe a minute's silence for those who've lost their lives in service of our country.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's very good to be with you again. May I start by introducing myself? I have the honour to be the Lancashire representative of Her Majesty the Queen, a post I've held as Lord Lieutenant for more than 20 years. My name is Charles Shuttleworth. I'm delighted to have been asked to say a few words about Armed Forces Day, which we mark today when we honour those who are currently serving in the regulars, the reserves or the cadets, together with all the veterans of past service and their families too. Today is the culmination of Armed Forces Week. Members of the Lancashire Lieutenancy visited every one of Lancashire's boroughs on Monday at the start of the week to attend the raising of the Armed Forces Week flag, showing each council's support. We have celebrated our armed forces, past and present, in this way for many years. Last year was severely impacted by the restrictions because of the pandemic. I'm glad that things are a bit easier this year, and I do acknowledge the outstanding contribution made during the pandemic by many members of the forces. As a nation, we owe a huge debt to our armed forces for all that they have done for us in times of conflict and of peace. That is why it is important that we show our gratitude through the events and celebrations of Armed Forces Week. We say thank you to all who have served and are serving now, particularly remembering those who gave their lives or were wounded or who now suffer years after their service. In turn, I would like to thank you all for your support for our armed forces. Last year, I was delighted to see communities across the boroughs of Chorley and also South Ribble commemorate the World War II 75th anniversaries of VE and VJ Day. Although events were not on the scale originally planned, it was wonderful to see the occasions acknowledged in spite of that ongoing pandemic. To make this year extra special, a concert has been arranged for Leyland Band to play at Chorley Town Hall to round off last year's events and to acknowledge Armed Forces Day 2021 with a tribute to all our servicemen and women. I do hope you enjoy the concert. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Lindsay Hoyle and I have the honour of being the Member of Parliament for Chorley and Lancashire. I'm also the Speaker of the House of Commons and the Honorary Colonel of 3 Medical Regiment. As Speaker, it is a great pleasure to have the opportunity to say a few words about Armed Forces Day and why we acknowledge and thank the brave and the selfless service of the men and women from every aspect of the Armed Forces community based here in the UK, in the British Overseas Territories and across the world. This occasion also gives us an opportunity to remember those who have served in our armed forces in the days gone by, and it is certainly only right and proper that we also take a moment to reflect upon those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the ongoing pursuit of peace. Of course, as Speaker, I give the thanks to all those who have fought for our right of free speech and for democracy. And it is a freedom we continue to enjoy today. Naturally, we do not take that freedom for granted. And that is why we specifically acknowledge our armed forces today, as they continue to ensure we can call all and enjoy the safety and well-being afforded to us by the service of our ancestors. As we emerge from the effects of coronavirus pandemic, it is appropriate for us to show our appreciation for the service of our armed forces during this difficult time. As well as our key workers, emergency services, NHS, healthcare workers, all the branches of our armed forces have been involved in one way or another to help once more and help protect the nation. Although this video has been produced on the local level, I believe it's a message and sentiment that will resonate across the country. It will allow everyone who is still isolating, restricted in movement, or where it hasn't been possible, to present any public events, an opportunity to share in the moment of thanking all the members of our armed forces, as well as acknowledging our reserves, the veterans, our cadets, the families of the whole extended armed forces community. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Steve Holgate and I'm the Mayor of Chorley. I'm delighted that we've been able to hold this ceremony today in which we honour our armed forces both past and present. Armed Forces Week is a time for us all to show our gratitude for the huge sacrifices made by servicemen and women and their families in defence of our freedom. And it's not just our freedom that our armed forces defend, but the freedoms of many oppressed nations across the globe in a peacekeeping for all. I am truly privileged to be part of this joint ceremony with South Ribble, and I would like to thank all of you for watching and showing your support. Thank you.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Councillor Jane Bell. I'm the Mayor of South Ribble, and that is an honour and a privilege. When I was asked to do this, I thought, well, I'm not from a military background. But then, having given it some thought, I remembered. My grandfather fought in the Battle of the Somme, and he was in the military band. And as a member of the band, he was a stretcher bearer in that battle. And twice his dugout was shelled, and twice he was the only survivor. My mother was based at Camp A2, England, before the D-Day landings, and my father fought in the desert. My son-in-law fought in the Balkans, and my granddaughter is a member of the Air Cadets. So I say I'm not from a military background. I think, like so many families, we can trace our grandparents and parents back to the First and Second World Wars. And it's on behalf of those ordinary families that I want to say thank you to the armed forces, past, present and future, who keep us all safe from our enemies. Thank you.
We begin our salute to the Armed Forces with a musical medley in tribute to the Royal Navy, Army and Royal Air Force.
Hello, I'm Councillor Aaron Beaver, and I'm the champion for the Armed Forces and Veterans for Chorley Borough Council. And I'd like to take this opportunity to pass on my thanks and gratitude to the serving members of the Armed Forces, the reservist members of the Armed Forces, and the veterans. But not just to them, to the extended family of the Armed Forces community, brothers, sisters, partners and children. Service personnel always seem to get humbled when they're given thanks, when they're called heroes, and they don't see themselves as heroes, be it from central government, local government, or from friends and family. But take those thanks. You've earned them. Finally, thank you once again for giving up your time to serve your country, and I hope you have an enjoyable Armed Forces Day. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Derek Forrest. I'm the Armed Forces Champion for South Ribble. What we have to remember is that as part of the Armed Forces Covenant, when those soldiers come back injured, shattered psychologically like my own youngest son, we owe them a duty to look after them and make sure that they're not left on the streets as used to happen, but that they're properly cared for. And that is my number one responsibility as Armed Forces Champion for South Ribble. So I want to thank all the viewers for every effort that they make to support our armed forces, and hope that now lockdown is ending, that we'll all have an opportunity of getting out there and supporting our armed forces. Thank you.
Last year we observed the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Britain and the 75th anniversaries of VE and VJ Day. Sadly, the pandemic prevented us from acknowledging those occasions with the pomp and ceremony that they deserved. On the 8th of June 1946, the country held a formal victory celebration to commemorate the end of World War II. So today, 75 years since that first victory celebration, we also pay tribute to our armed forces from that wartime generation. Thank you for joining us on Armed Forces Day 2021. I hope you've enjoyed the Chorley and South Ribble salute to our armed forces. Thank you to everyone who's been involved in putting together this tribute, and especially to Leyland Band. There is, of course, one final show of support, and that is to the Commander-in-Chief of the British Armed Forces and veteran of World War II, Her Majesty the Queen.